Welcome, everyone, to Blueprint for Traders Post on this November 21st, 2024. Quiet day in markets, but not a quiet day in our hearts. I'm one of your hosts, Tom Hartman, alongside CSO for Traders Post, Mike Christensen. How's it going, Mike?
Doing well, Tom. How about you?
Good, good. Do you guys know your snow is gone, right? The snow
It's
came and went for you guys.
Yeah, we got a little sprinkling. It was supposed to be some big mega storm. Yeah, that didn't really happen, and then it melted off within a couple of days. I think there's a little snow outside my window still, but not as much as you might think.
I got the kids harassing us. We have these igloos that we bought for the kids, the like makeshift igloos outside. I know it sounds very Canadian, and they're just dying to do it. They're like, it's November 21st already. All right.
Around this time of the year, when I think of Canadian phrases, I think of you guys calling snowmobiles sleds,
Right.
which always confuses me. I'm like, you guys are going sledding? Like we're going out to the backyard? No. You mean snowmobiling. Okay, got it. Yeah, that's way cooler.
I have a neighbor who's from California, and he sees me walking outside with shorts and a t-shirt, and he's like, only in Canada is it freezing outside, and you're just casually out there like it's still summer. It's like I didn't even notice it was cold.
I'm even more surprised by the idea that you actually go outside. I thought that was
Garbage collection doesn't happen on its own. I gotta go take care of that. So we had we teased a little bit last on office hours on Tuesday that we just created this quick script called schedule alerts that allows users to send a signal at a specific time. And why would you want to send a signal at a specific time? Well, you might want to close all the positions in your account before the end of a session or a trading session, or let's say an event is about to happen. So you can imagine you're in a prop firm account and you want to make sure that you're going to avoid having any positions open for the FOMC minutes drop, and you can set the time accordingly. Or you want to know that every day at 3:55 p.m. you want to flatten all your positions at your brokers. Well, there's no easy way of doing that within TradingView, so we figured let's just whip up a script in order to do that. So we'll take a little walkthrough of where the script is and how you can go ahead and add it to your chart. And then we thought it might be nice to actually show you how you can just take that code, like the code that we wrote up, and paste it within your existing strategy, and that way you don't have to have like two indicators running. You can have it all in one. So I figured we step through that today, Mike.
Let's do it. I also want to confirm that TradingView has allowed us to keep that script private and on our profile, so people can add it to their favorites.
Yeah, I just checked it.
Okay, good. We keep having this issue with TradingView where sometimes they'll take down our scripts, and in this case, the scheduled alert one still looks live. So we'll provide the alert there. You can add it to your favorites, and then of course add this to your chart on any study where you want to schedule an alert to close your positions. Or, honestly, with this scheduled alert concept, the nice thing about it is it's really kind of meant for anything. You could also send a cancel command. You could buy another share. You could use it for kind of any kind of scheduled idea if you wanted to.
You can even have it multiple times on your chart. Like if you wanted to,
Sure.
for some reason, layer it in for some reason, you can do that.
Yep.
And then also when you're pasting it into your script, you can wrap it in some conditions. So it's a nice little starter thing.
I'm even thinking like if you put it on a weekly chart, you could dollar cost average into Bitcoin for the next several weeks while we skyrocket to the moon, because it seems like Bitcoin's on a tear that's never going to end.
Man, I've been waiting for a pullback. It's not happening. Pullback's not happening. All right, so I wanted to show it here on our Discord group. We do have this script here that we posted. It's called TradersPost scheduled alert. Because it's posted privately to make sure that it stays up, you won't be able to just search for it in the TradingView community library. You do have to come here, or you can go on on this YouTube video. You'll see it in the comments and in the description. On the office hours, it was there as well, and our blog, you'll find it there as well. So basically, you'll go click into the link, and then once you're logged in, you would add it to your favorites. And once you add it to your favorites, it'll then become available in your TradingView. So let me just go ahead and switch to TradingView. There you go. And then over here, we'll have it.
We should probably say too that once you've added the indicator to your favorites, then you can search for it in indicators.
Correct. That's right. It'll show up here, and we make sure that all our scripts are open source. So you can go ahead and click on the curly braces, and you'll get access to the code that's there. All right. So here, just as an example, we're on the NQs. Let's say we're going to 15 minutes, and we want to make sure that at 3 o'clock, 3 p.m. for this time zone, a signal will fire. So you're seeing on the chart right now these white triangles that are showing up, which are you can see that these white triangles that are showing up for 3 o'clock, and those correspond with an alert. That alert message appears in here, and so when you paste that message in here, let's say we grab one.
Yeah, we'll just do a ticker or one for the ticker NQ or the current ticker of the window, and then just say action exit, and we'll make this the exit signal for NQ here. You can send over things like the time and any other properties you want, but for a really simple message, we can just say action equals exit.
Perfect.
Wait, you got action buy there.
Oh, right. I'm going to exit.
There we go.
Okay. So let's say we head off. Are we live right now? Yeah, we're live. So let's just go to the 1 minute. We'll set up an alert for 15:10. All right, we're not going to see one yet. It's going to be in the future. I guess I should make it so that I'll mark it for the future. You know what? I'll do exactly that.
Can you do that? Oh, I didn't know you could go into the future.
Oh, absolutely.
Sweet.
And then over here for choose the schedule alert script. Any alert function call is what we need. And once we create that, it'll be in our alert log.
So I think the big thing there is also making sure that you put your webhook URL for the strategy where you want this to be sent to in the alert. That's right. So the message that you put in the settings is going to be passed through off to that webhook URL, and that should be, whatever strategy you're looking to attach this to.
That's right. Let me actually share my entire screen so we can see my browser. So if I were to head to my back end, I can go ahead and choose the strategy to get the webhook. So I copy the webhook URL, and then this is what I would do.
I think too, Tom, if you can go back to strategies, we've been slowly trying to make the webhook section less and less relevant. If you click on your strategy there, the webhook that is connected to your strategy is on this screen. So you can just hit the copy button for that strategy. That way, for sure this is going to be the webhook that I send the request to, or this is the strategy that I'm going to send the webhook request to. So you copy that URL, put that in your alert.
So there we had the, did I set it up? Yeah. So schedule alert fired. Just fired
just
a few seconds ago.
Yeah, I was going to say we just hit the 10.
So I take a look at my webhook. I should see it there. Did I not?
Go to notifications. It got rejected there.
I don't see it for this ticker.
That's probably because it's not even a valid ticker for crypto.
Right. So let me just try that again. So over here, let's do it for 1513. I have to. Oh, right. I have to do it on, let's say, USD. Just delete it altogether. All right, alert created.
Cool.
Stop going up, Bitcoin. No, this is NASDAQ. I don't care about NASDAQ. I'm not in NASDAQ anymore. Thank you very much.
You created that last alert for BTC?
I created it on NQ.
It's still on NQ. Okay.
Because I clicked on the alert. I forgot. I clicked on the alert and then went back to the chart.
I was going to say, I got a little confused. How are we still on the NASDAQ chart?
Right. All right. Let's get that smooth. All right. Back over here. Let's delete you. $15.15. Create. Schedule alert. Webhook. All right. While we're waiting for that to happen, previously, I believe like 2 weeks ago, we went over how to create just a simple VWAP strategy. That's also posted in our Discord and on the blog.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it might be fun just to show how, in that strategy, when we had done it quickly, we were just basically arbitrarily choosing an end of session date. So we would open the trade a certain number of bars within the trading session, and then we just arbitrarily close it. So we're going to go ahead after we go through this example to see how we can actually copy and paste our schedule alert code within that script, and then it would all be in one. Let's just give this the 45 seconds for it to fire. It's very comfortable. It reminds me of how many times I have to like sit around waiting for a candle to close. I never realized how much of my life I actually spend at candle closes to see if it actually, closed bearish or doji or whatever it is. All right, so there we have the signal that showed up close. We have the signal that shows up in TradingView.
Great.
It's in the logs, and then what we're seeing over here is all my other strategies that are firing signals like crazy. But if we come over here, we should see the. All right, so note to future self, Tom, set up a different strategy and not the one where you have literally 100 signals firing every second.
I still didn't see BTC USDT in there, though. Is that because you still had the alert set up on NQ?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No, BTC USD.
Yeah.
Oh, because it's not. No, it's Binance. It's the right one. Let me just go take a look at that webhook again.
Oh, our JSON payload's off. What happened there?
That's what it is.
Bad identifier is.
Oh, right. I'm being silly. There's no ticker because I'm not setting it through the strategy. The ticker's not being replaced. I actually have to put the.
Right. Okay. So this means we should probably use your function to replace tokens.
Ooh, good idea. Let's do that.
Okay, look at us making modifications to this script on the fly, on the show. We're going to make it better before you guys even get it into your hands.
All right, so they changed with the new PineScript 6. They changed the whole layout of everything, or a few things. So I have to look around. I don't know if you've seen the new changes they did down here.
I haven't had time yet. Yeah, what?
You can have Pine logs now. When you have this editor popped out, let's say in a new tab, you can have your Pine logs show up here. You don't have to have it on the other chart.
Oh, cool.
And then, anyways, there's all kinds of details.
I used to use the external window. It's just tradingview.com/pine. Is it different now? It's like a hidden window.
Oh, I've never even gone there. I just always clicked on the 3 dots and then click open a new tab. Well, because I use a desktop application, and then I just
Mm.
drag it out to another screen.
Okay.
All right, so I do have a script here. Where are you? 1 second. It'll be in. All right, 1 moment here. How has your portfolio script been treating you? The one that you're using for prop firms?
So far, so good. I mean, it closes exactly on time every day, the way it's supposed to. If that's what you're referring to.
Yeah. Are you
Yeah.
finding if there's any? Are there any like glitches, or it shows that you got liquidated but you shouldn't have, or you got margin called but you shouldn't have, or anything like that?
Nope, not yet.
Excellent.
I mean, I'm definitely well within margin requirements though, because I'm only trading 2 M&Q contracts at a time on a $50,000 account. That's, well below intraday and overnight margin.
Let me see. Over here, just pasted in a method that I have that I call tags, and basically I pass it a string, and it'll look through the string for a bunch of placeholders to replace inside of whatever string I pass it. So here we don't need a bunch of this other stuff because this is just for you can literally you can just follow this format and do all kinds of different things in here. But we don't need any of this. We just need the ticket to replace at the moment. I should have one in here that has all the placeholders. The only thing we're not going to have is plot 0, 1, 2, 3, because those are automatically generated. Oh, this is another thing for PineScript 6. We have a chat here. Have you tried this?
A chat?
You no longer directly get to the documentation when you click on the button at the bottom right. You get this AI chatbot.
No.
Yeah, and you click on knowledge base to get to the actual knowledge base.
How has the AI assistant been?
I don't even really try it. In fact, it's got in my way. I'm so used to navigating it.
Got you. That's pretty cool. Just another example of AI everywhere now. There's no avoiding it. You're going to be finding that more and more interfaces will become conversational.
That's right. All right. So over here, if we wanted to have, let's say, close, open, high, low, time, volume, we would just replace all these here. Close, open.
So for context here, for everyone who's watching, basically what Tom is doing here is creating a string replacement method that allows you to put in whatever payload you want, whatever JSON message you want, that includes the placeholders from PineScript, things like exchange, ticker, close, open, high, low, time, and volume. And those will get replaced with their correct values before that message is sent over to TradersPost. When we tried to send the message earlier, it was sending the ticker string, the curly brace ticker, because that replacement of those variables occurs in the alert. And because we're putting this in the settings of the indicator, it doesn't get replaced properly. So we'll make that functionality available so that you can use these placeholders still within the indicator settings. Then these variables will get replaced and then sent over as a proper JSON message to TradersPost.
All right, here we want an interval. Do you remember when the interval is sent over? Normally, is it to convert it? Like, do we have the user readable format? Like, if it's 4 hours, does it say 240 or does it say 4H?
I'm pretty sure it's 4H, yeah, and 5M for 5 minutes.
So time frame. Okay, well, I'm going to do all of these guys. Well, I only have one more left.
And there's probably not very many that are going to be relevant at this point. Sure. Oop,
Okay.
you got a T in front of that sim info.
This one I do use the Breach currency one, so let's just do this one. Okay, that should be enough.
Cool.
All right, and what we're going to do here is for the alert message, since this is a method, we can use a dot notation by doing dot and then tags. We don't have to pass the first parameter because when we use the dot notation, it assumes that whatever you pass through is the first parameter, but this could alternatively be done this way. And then that should be good. Just for good measure, what I'm going to do is, I already have it logged. I'm going to log this information within our Pine logs, and that way, while we're waiting for the signal to fire, we'll also be able to see all the other times that it fired, just to make sure that it did. All right, so let's save that. Let me just log in here. Pine logs. I should see the Pine logs for every other time. All right, let's see if this replaced. Okay, so now we're seeing on the right side in the Pine logs that right now we see the logs every other time the signal fired, and it did replace the ticker with the correct ticker. If we decided we're going to use, let's say, for some reason, the close value, well, the close value would be here instead.
Yep. Nice.
Okay. So let's add you to the chart for one successful run. 1 minute.
Another caveat to this is that the timing that you choose for your alert needs to match the resolution on the screen. Said another way, if I choose the 3rd minute of the 3rd hour of the afternoon, and I'm on the 10-minute chart, that 3rd minute is never going to get hit. So you need to make sure that your chart interval matches the minutes that you choose. It's probably best if you try to round it out, as best as possible. Like if you're choosing 55, like 3:55 p.m., you would need to make sure you're on the 5-minute chart or lower. And what I like about Tom's script here is that if you don't see the white icons show up in the history, then it's then you know for sure that it doesn't match the resolution you're on. Those white dots should show how this would be called on the time resolution that you're on.
Yeah, it's these guys over here.
Yep.
All right, it's 15 seconds. Let's see.
Should do a countdown. 9, 8.
Peter, one of the other guys in the marketing team, he could stare at progress bars and countdowns all the time, but they have to be count ups for some reason.
Count
all right.
ups. Okay.
Yeah, only if it goes up to 100% or up to a number, he's fine. Otherwise, it's too anxiety driven.
Interesting. Total side subject, but I had a personal trainer a long time ago who taught me that a better way to count your reps, if you're doing, something particularly hard, is to count down instead of count up. So if I'm doing 10 reps on the bench press, I'd rather count down from 10 rather than count up.
Interesting. You lost me at bench reps. I made another error here. I didn't put the quotes.
Come on, Tom. Get it together.
I'm going through all the things that I've seen in support tickets again and again. Very funny. Hey, I use my message library that automatically generates my JSON string, which will show up in a different blueprint later on. But I never have to type these things manually. Thank you very much.
Okay, so Tom makes a good point here. You can't just put in the placeholder. You got to put quotes around it so that it parses correctly. The JSON messages have to have quotes around the values that you send through.
And what's fun is that no one's ever going to see this really, because we're going to cut out the clip where everything runs smoothly.
Tom forgets that we're live. We've got at least 2 people watching you right now.
All right, lifetime free membership to all my services if they don't say anything.
Yeah, if you just ignore the mistakes that were made here. No. And what, 25 seconds?
That's right.
Okay. So great. We've now got it to where you can put in any message you want. Again, this could be used to send a signal every hour. You could try to set it up to where you know your entries are going to be taken in the morning, and you want to make sure that any limit orders that are hanging out there get canceled. So you could send a cancel order at 12 o'clock or something like that. Exit at the same time each day. I think there's a lot of versatility to this. The biggest idea is just whatever action you want taken can be prepared.
The ticker for Binance is BTC-USDT.
I thought we had mapped this properly internally to where you should be able to send over the ticker in non-hyphen format and it gets mapped. But let me chat with John on that. That might be a release we're coming up with soon.
Okay, so let's write it directly.
Yeah, we can hard code it for now. By the way, do you even have an open position in BTC?
I don't, but we'll just see the signal show up.
Yeah, it'll show up and then it'll get rejected.
I hope I don't have a position for BTC.
Because you're about to sell it at a good price.
No, I only do altcoins. I'm the gen.
Is that the Canadian way of saying it? I feel like Americans say degens.
I like to whenever John says Discord, he says Discord. So I started saying the term
Discord.
differently. It makes me laugh. The people are really nice in Discord. Okay, he's a landed immigrant. All right, so you
20 seconds. Cool. So we'll get this updated so everybody can use this, and then now we'll move on to how this can be coupled with another strategy. So essentially, this can be layered in the sense that you can have a strategy that has its own entries and maybe a take profit and a stop loss, but you know for sure at the end of the day you just want to close everything out on that ticker and close it out.
I must be doing something wrong here.
I think you're connected to the wrong strategy. Which the strategy? See, my new strategy is stocks, not crypto.
That's right. Okay, so it's not the thing that John has to fix.
It's fine. I think for this demonstration, we've shown you how you can basically send along, the message you need to close out your ticker for the correct strategy. This would obviously need to line up with stocks or crypto or futures or options, whatever you're trading.
Right.
So I love the next part here. Basically, instead of having to code in some close all my positions at the end of the day, which may not be in the strategy that you're running right now, let's layer in the scheduled alert as another indicator on the page, and it will exit the positions at the end of the day. Now, the one caveat to this is that those exits are not going to show up in your strategy history on your actual strategy on page. So you'll have to bear that in mind, because exiting the position at that particular time may have an impact on your performance over the long run. So of course, we usually encourage people to make sure that they code in their exits into their strategy so that it shows up properly in the simulator. But if you're comfortable knowing that I just want all my positions exited at the end of the day, then feel free to add this as a second indicator.
How do you feel if we actually show the copying and pasting that within the previous strategy, so that's embedded within it, so that strategy actually takes that into consideration?
I mean, sure. Now we're getting a little more advanced here, where you could combine these scripts together and use the logic from the scheduled alert in your strategy. I think the idea of being able to add this scheduled alert to the chart is nice for people who don't have access to the source code. like they're using a paid strategy from another provider,
Understood.
or they just don't know how to use PineScript.
Got it. Okay, no problem. I'm just gonna on this previous strategy. I'm just gonna, for the purposes of this example, remove the end session script, the call.
Yeah, I guess we kind of already had baked in our exit strategy there, didn't we?
Yeah, but I'm going to take this off and back on. Okay, so anyways, it's hidden the take profit level, but we're seeing here that the that we have the signal that's happening here, and so this strategy, I can set up an alert for whatever strategy I'm currently using, and have that follow all the same rules that that I'm normally used to. I believe the script had alert fields that I would create for entering into positions, just like how I would normally do.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't have to necessarily, or I could just continue this the way I normally do, but then have a backup with this other, the schedule alert script that's also on the chart that has its own JSON message for closing positions.
Yep. And that would be the idea here. So the strategy that you have on the screen maybe doesn't close everything at the end of the day. So you just add this scheduled alert to the study, and it'll close out your positions at the end of the day.
I always save my charts like this, so that I could always get back to not only what indicators were on there, but what the settings were at the time. I find it super useful to just have that always on hand. I don't know about you. Sometimes I have 17 different charts going, and I need to know, okay, what actual settings that I have associated with it.
Oh yeah, I'm a big user of the multiple layouts. As a premium user, I think we're allowed unlimited layouts. So I have literally dozens and dozens and dozens of different layouts.
And I'll also name my strategies so that sometimes I'm running the same strategy, like the same script in different scenarios, and I just want to know, okay, which alert went with which one, so that when I'm sending them to different webhooks, or there's always a trace to what was the original chart that I was actually dealing with this on.
Yeah.
Here I'm going to call it new strat, and then over here rename my chart as new strat.
This gets me to a subject I was just talking to another customer about recently. If we go into the scheduled alert there, what you've done there is you've created an additional property that's outside the scope of the properties that TradersPost interprets. So ticker and action are reserved keywords that we need to rely on in order to take your trade and manage your position. But you can add in other properties to your webhook message so that you can see them when they come through on TradersPost. What I typically recommend, though, is instead of doing it all on one level here, basically create a new property that you call extras or properties, and then put all of your properties inside of that with new curly braces. So Tom, can you show like how you might add like an extras property that contains extra debug information about this alert?
You mean where it has its own children?
Uh-huh. Yep. Now, what this does is it puts everything inside the extra namespace. So that reduces the likelihood that you use any keywords that conflict with the keywords that TradersPost relies on at the top there. So like ticker is a reserved keyword, action is a reserved keyword. But if you put action inside of your extra property, it's not going to cause a problem because it's inside of extra, and we just ignore that entire extra property. Just got to put double quotes around that. There we go. So yeah, perfect example here. You've got this extra property. You can save the name of your strategy. Maybe you save names of values of the settings that you had for the strategy, as well as any other diagnostic or debug information you want to send along. But baking it all into this one extra property is a good way to prevent the likelihood that you accidentally send a keyword that messes up the way your trade behaves. This can be things like order type or any of the number of properties that are reserved in our webhook documentation. There's a whole list of all the property names in our webhook documentation. And so you want to make sure that you don't use those names if you add extra properties to your JSON message.
These are all the properties that exist. Okay,
exactly.
cool.
So there's so many here that it's like, oh, what if I accidentally put in signal price in as an extra property that I was hoping to keep track of, but that's not actually the signal price that's going to be relied on by TradersPost. Probably a bad example, but the point is to reduce that risk. Just put them all into a property with a relatively different name. You could just call it extras or properties or ignore or some keyword name that isn't in our webhook documentation.
Mm-hmm. So before after the show, I'll go ahead and update the script with the modifications we just made. But I'm wondering if I should add the feature where we can see in the future where the alert would show up. Ooh, maybe I can make a little countdown so that it's like counting down 3, 2, 1 until it actually happens. That might be fun to do. And
being able to show the label in the future with maybe the little label above it for the countdown is pretty cool. I like that.
Because not everyone has countdown showing up on their sidebar. They might not want to activate that constantly. So that might be fun. And
yeah, but the label on the sidebar is for the current candle. Yours would be how much time is left before that alert is actually sent. So that's kind of useful. It could be like, hey, there's 3 hours left before we're going to close out your positions.
I was thinking originally about also having it so that you could have the seconds, but I thought that was like overkill. Like the original version of this had seconds. And I was like, okay, I don't know if people are really trying to get down to the second here.
Let's put it to a vote. If you guys want us to throw seconds in here, let us know. But I think the minutes is probably fine enough.
Yeah. And I think you need to have a certain account or whatever to get down there. So I didn't want to plan on TradingView. So I didn't want a situation where someone gets a feature and they can't use it in the basic version.
No, I've had that happen a lot.
All right. Excellent. Anything else we should go over? That's
no, I think this is great. It's going to be a super versatile script. We'll be sure to put this in the documentation. We've got a blog post coming out on it. We'll put it in the show notes here. And if you guys have any questions about how to use it, just feel free to reach out.
I was thinking about doing for next blueprint, all the different types of ways you could program a trailing stop or trailing profit. I don't know if that would be useful or just a script where people can, because people talk about it all the time in Discord. How do you do a trailing this? How do you do a trailing that?
Yeah.
And we can make it all funky where you can do it by price, you can do it by ticks, by pips, by the whole thing. Where you can have different stops depending on when you get to a certain level of profit or whatever, it switches to now your stop loss reduces by half or whatever it is. Or it's a function of volatility or whatever. I thought it might be fun to do that, but who knows? I'm putting it out here to see if people are interested in it. If like 2 people say yes, I think I'll go ahead and do a video for it.
I'll give you one now because this has come up at least a dozen times, maybe 2 dozen times in support tickets. The most frustrating and confusing thing that I think people go through is that they calculate their risk, especially in futures, in terms of points or ticks. But when we set up our take profit and stop loss in TradersPost, everything is relative to the market price. So a very common response we have in support tickets is, I put in 220 ticks, but it put the take profit $220 above where I entered. So you can see the confusion here where you expect it to be ticks, but it ended up being the market price. So maybe a utility script that helps people do the math there to convert their ticks to the price dollar amount or points to price dollar amount would allow them to, define their take profit and stop loss level on ticks, but then ultimately that gets translated into the market price when it's sent over to TradersPost. Some kind of script for that I think would be super useful.
All right, so I'll float one other idea by you. Let's see what you think about this one. And this is since we were trying to keep in mind there are people who want basically the semi-automated trading features that we're working to cater to, and I thought it might be fun to have let's say the long and short position tool that's on TradingView doesn't allow you to set alerts for the different levels. But let's say we had a script where you can go ahead and set your entry levels, your this is just a script that I wrote
Mhm.
where you can have your levels, and then automatically it would be tied to. You'd have all the different alerts for the different take profit levels for whatever it is. It'd have trailing and all that, but you would basically set each one of these up per trade. So let's say you knew you wanted to do 3 trades that day.
Mhm.
You can copy and paste this multiple times, add to the chart, and then the alerts would fire every time the price crosses these levels. So you'd have this semi-automated thing that's still connected to TradersPost in order to execute your trades.
So what's the cleanup for that? Would you have to delete the alerts at the end of your trading session and then build them all again the next day?
Sure, but you don't mention that. People who want to use it, they can use it, and people who don't want to, they never think about it.
Got it.
So I thought that might be fun. I mean, I love these utility. You know me. I love these
Oh
utility
yeah,
scripts, small
yeah.
things that people can use, and then people can always like take the code, and make it into something that's useful to you.
I'm all for it. And I think anytime we can solve a common problem that people run into, especially around the math of position size or risk amount, like back to my point about determining risk in ticks, another another potential utility script there is being able to define your take profit and stop loss based on the amount that you care to win or lose, right? So like if I know that I want to make $500 on this trade, but I only want to risk $200 on the trade, I know how to calculate that because I know the tick value is 50 cents on an M&Q contract. So I can quickly do the math in my head and determine how many ticks I want. But in some cases, somebody might want to say, well, I only want it to be $200 worth of risk. So we can translate the dollar amount back into the price in ticks and to determine where the stop loss should be so that you're not risking any more than $200.
So that's the idea here, where the levels you can decide risk reward ratios, percentage, dollar amounts,
Right,
pips,
right,
right?
right.
And
Exactly.
this is not even the fully extent of what you can do. You can do stuff like because TradingView knows what percentage and what nominal value you are in profit or in loss,
Oh,
and
cool.
so you
Yeah,
can
yeah.
set accordingly as well. So you don't even have to calculate it directly. So that it could be pretty cool.
All right,
Yeah.
let's work on a script that helps with this calculation process for take profit and stop loss.
All right. So that's it for us for today for Blueprint. We'll be back next week, next Thursday, 3 p.m. with another Blueprint episode walkthrough. You have anything you want us to go through, any suggestions, please put them in Discord or on YouTube, or send us a support ticket. We're happy to take a look at it. And if we can, we will. And we'll be here tomorrow for After Hours.
We
Where we
will
go
be
over.
here tomorrow for after hours. We will not be here next Thursday. However, we're going to do
Oh,
we're going to do Thanksgiving next week.
no,
And that,
Thanksgiving was in October. You guys are doing the wrong date. So you guys have to, to be there.
so we will not be doing the show next Thursday, but we will reconvene on the 5th of December for Blueprint as well as after hours.
I might suggest that I do it because I don't have any vacation day.
That's the beauty of being Canadian. Go for it. Let's have Tom just chime in next week.
I'm
Then
gonna roll out my AI mic. That'll be pretty fun.
I'll just check in from my phone while I'm eating turkey and just check in, make sure everything's looking good. It'll be around the time where I'm trying to snack and have a few drinks. I'll be getting into wine. So yeah, no, that sounds good. If you guys want me to join, I'll be there.
Excellent. All right, Mike. Thank you so much.
All right. Cheers.